Hi guys, Pt.2, Jen, coming back at you again. This is part 2 of my video. It is Saturday, June 11th, and this part of my video, first I want to say hi to Beth. I believe your name is By the Time I'm 50. I just know you as Beth now, so I want to say hi to you, and I'm really sorry that I've been missing you. I haven't seen you on Facebook, and a couple times that I've signed on now. I did leave you a message, I think. I just feel so bad because I love talking to you, and I'm so mad that I missed you a few times. But I have been seeing your pictures, and you look great, and I'm so proud of you for doing your exercises, because I know that's something that I'm gonna need pushing at. Also, so I had my endoscopy, and it was a 6-minute procedure that turned into 7 hours because I was stuck at the hospital due to my surgeon being stuck in the OR. When you have bad anxiety, that is not fun at all. So it basically got to the point where I was there so long that my anxiety basically disappeared by the time it was time for me to go in. Very simple procedure. Basically, they put an IV in you. They roll you into like what kind of looks like a regular doctor's room. They laid me on my side. They put oxygen on me, the little thing through the nose. They put this block behind my back. They put a thing in my mouth that had like a hole in it, and they strapped it around the back of my head. And the anesthesiologist said to me, you're going to feel a little pressure in your hands in the IV. And I remember looking up at the ceiling. I didn't feel pressure in my hands. And I just remember everything getting very weird, almost like feeling high, I guess. And that was it. I was out. You can't even force yourself to stay awake. You're just out. Very weird feeling. But a good weird feeling, because you're asleep. And then before I knew it, I was waking up in recovery. They were giving me juice, and I was literally walking out of there, going home to go eat something. Because you have to fast since the night before. I do have a hiatal hernia, which I have to say, I honestly knew he was going to tell me that before I went in. I have bad acid reflux a lot of the time, and I've been having it a lot lately, and which is really weird. So I almost felt like it was my instincts telling me, he's going to tell you have it. Just be okay with it. So that makes my procedure a little bit longer due to the fact that he has to repair that. But as my mom says, if you weren't going for the band, you wouldn't have went for the endoscopy, and if you didn't go for that, you would have never have known you had this, which she's right about. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal. My surgery is in a few days. It's on June 20th. I'm nervous, but not nervous. It's a very weird feeling for me right now. I'll probably get a little nervous the night before, and I'll probably be freaking out that day in the hospital. Like I told my doctor, as long as I'm asleep for it, and then I wake up in the end, I'm okay. And then I'll take it day by day after that. My husband's surgery was June 1st, which was a Wednesday. We had to wake up here at 5 o'clock in the morning, leave by 5:30. We got to the hospital by 6:30. We checked in, went upstairs, did what we had to do. Basically, it's the normal, change your clothes, put it in the locker, take your blood pressure, your temperature. Sent us back over to sit down and watch some TV until they wanted to give him a heparin shot in the belly, which is a blood thinner before surgery. Then they set him up in a bed, gave him an IV. Our surgeon uses an assistant in the operating room, and she came over and spoke with us. The anesthesiologist came over and spoke with us, and then my surgeon came over and spoke with us. And after he came over and spoke with us, and was basically like, all right, let's go, we're ready to roll. The anesthesiologist came over, and even though my husband has no anxiety at all, came over and said, I'm going to give you a little something for the anxiety. And whatever he gave him, literally he shot it into the tube, and my husband was like, wow, I feel that already. My husband said they wheeled him in, and he was awake in the operating room for a little while, preparing and doing what they needed to do, and then basically he was off to sleep. So I think that's why they give you a little something whether you're anxious or not, because to me, whatever drug they're giving you in the IV is making you a little fuzzy in the head. So I don't think they really want you to remember what's going on in the prep room. Because I remember when I had my gallbladder out. My gallbladder was an emergency gallbladder removal. I had a very bad attack one night, and my husband had to rush me to the hospital in the middle of the night. And they had to put me on so many drugs to even get the pain to subside. It was ridiculous. They couldn't even believe it. I think they shot me up twice with morphine and twice with Demerol before the pain even subsided. And of course, it was the weekend, and we needed to find a surgeon that could come in. And thank God my father's cousin is a doctor, and he's well known in the hospital by my house here. And he knew of like the best surgeon, and it was good that he knew of the best surgeon to get for this, because it turned out that my gallbladder must have been bad for over a year, and I never knew it. All that time I thought I had food poisoning, and I was throwing up actually because of my gallbladder. And so basically, you know, they took me in the hospital, and it turned out they needed to pull 2 surgeons in for my surgery, and I had found out that if I didn't have the surgeon I had for it, and it was a different surgeon, they would have cut me open for it instead of laparoscopically, because what happened is because my gallbladder was so bad for so long without me knowing it, my liver, my gallbladder, and all the muscles surrounding it became one big ball of mush, I guess. It was like one big glob all stuck together, and they had to cut everything apart and pull the gallbladder out and do what they needed to do. So I was actually in the hospital for like 3 or 4 days, and I remember before, and I was like, let's be honest, high on morphine, I guess, for days before they even took me into the surgery. And when they were going to wheel me into surgery, when we got downstairs to the room before you enter the operating room, I said, listen, you have to give me something. I'm freaking out. And they gave me something, and I don't even remember them giving me anything, and my mom was with me, and she goes, you were saying things that you would normally never tell somebody. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And it turned out that my operating room nurse was one of my neighbors. How fun is that? A male, by the way. So the drugs definitely worked. Because I'll be honest, they did wheel me into the operating room while I was awake for that. And till this day, the only thing that I remember from that surgery is them, I can't even say wheeling me in the operating room. All I remember is the big giant circle light over my head, and that's all I remember. I remember nothing else. So I do think that's why they give you a little bit of an anxiety shot up of whatever it is before you go in, because I don't think they want you to remember, because then you're going to have anxiety every time you ever need to go back to the hospital for something. You know, even my C-section with my daughter, I was awake for that. But I had bad anxiety, and I told the anesthesiologist that, and she ended up having to give me something twice during the procedure, and I can sit here and tell you everything they did, but I can't tell you that I remember my feeling on it. Like, I don't remember it, like, hurting. I don't remember any of that. So it's kind of like, it's a weird but good situation that medicine puts you in. So I'm happy about that. You know, I basically, at this point, just want it over and done with. I want to be able to start my journey at this point. You know, my husband's already down 23.4 pounds. You know, but he also holds a lot of water, and he was actually on medicine from our doctor for that. So now the water would pool in his ankles and his feet so bad. And now I see his ankle bones, and I'm like, oh my God, I can see your ankles and your feet, like you have definition. So already I could tell that this surgery has already helped my husband immensely. You know, it's just going to be a very big change. I mean, you're going from, I'm going to be 33 this year, and my husband is going to be turning, I think, 37, I'm not sure. You know, so you're going from like 30-something years, basically, of eating one way. And now it's like you have to totally change the way you're going to eat forever. And I'm actually okay with that. I told my mom, cause she said, you know, you're going to be able to get it up here. You know, I understand that, you know, the band is going to help you down here, but what about up here? And I have to say I'm done. I'm just done with food. I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of it ruling my life. I feel like all I ever do is, what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? You know, I mean, and I'm tired of it. Like, I can go to work and work the whole day and not eat and not care. So why is it that I want to eat when I'm home? I have very bad stomach issues, and I know it's because I eat the wrong food and I don't have a gallbladder. So I feel once this all comes into, you know, all together, I think I'm going to become a much healthier person. And my parents already talked about, I don't know if I told you guys before, but my husband and myself and my daughter, my parents have a 2-family house. So we actually rent the apartment on the side of their house. So, which is great because I have their backyard with their pool, which I love to go swimming, and I'm a little upset because I don't really know how long I have to wait to swim. I'm pretty sure until my incisions are completely healed. But my mother has like this little room that has like a couch and 2 chairs, and nobody really uses it. It's just like a decorative room, sort of to speak, off the backyard. So like it has like 2 big sliding glass doors that overlook the backyard. So my mom said, maybe we'll bring the treadmill up from the basement and put it in there. That way you can look outside as you do the treadmill, which I'm really happy about. And I'm actually going to treat myself and buy myself an iPod Nano. Not the touchscreen, though. I did want to go for that extra step, but like my husband said, why? You're not going to be playing with a touchscreen anything when you're on the treadmill, and he's right. So I'm going to go for the little inexpensive little Nano for like $40 or whatever it is, and that way I could put my little pods on and I could do the treadmill, and I'm really gearing myself up for that, and it's got to be something that I do. Like Bandit Wendy says, you want to lose, you got to move, and it's about time that I even start this. Because as many people know, I do not exercise. So I am going to start with the treadmill, and I'm going to start little and work my way up. Maybe the first day I'm only going to do 15 minutes. Maybe the next day I'm only going to do 20. But eventually I will get to that 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, whatever it is. And I plan on doing that. Okay, well, I don't know what else to say. Other than, I'm sorry I haven't been on, but I do like my privacy when I make my videos, because my husband is like a jokester, and it's not that he makes fun of me in a bad way, but he's like, oh, you make your little videos, and it's like, whatever, like, I don't want to hear him, because last night I tried to make my video, and it didn't work out, and I was in the bedroom with the door shut, and he goes, I heard you in there for like an hour talking, and I said, yeah, and I had to erase the videos because they didn't work out. So anyway, this video is already like 12 minutes long. So let me say goodbye. And if anybody has any questions or wants to know anything that I didn't put in the video, just message me and I'll try to answer as best I can. Alright, I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great weekend. Bye.